Hi, I'm Kristin Davis, and I want to know, are you a Charlotte? You guys, everyone listening, thank you for joining us. We are here on Are You a Charlotte with the incredible Brian Van Holt. I am so excited to have him here.
I am so excited to be here. Thank you
It's my
for inviting
pleasure.
me.
It's such a great episode, and plus I just love to see you.
I love to see you too. I have such great memories of that period, that moment in our lives, and that whole experience, and you know, a lot of it, you know, had to do with you, and you know, you just you're one of a kind, and it was so. I'm just so happy to see you.
Thank you.
Special.
Let's talk about that time, because I remember that time as being that summer. It would have been 2000, right? Or 1999. Are we still in 1999?
I think we were in the 90s.
Yeah, we're in 99.
It was 90, and
I
might have been 98.
Who you were dating. I don't even know if I should say. But like, I remember talking about 1999. This episode is called The Caste System, and it aired on August 8th, 1999. So we had filmed it in the spring. You know,
right.
I think, right? Like not too far in advance. And I remember like it was kind of a glorious year.
It was a glorious year. And to be in New York in the 90s was special in and of itself. And I was in my 20s, and being in your 20s and in the 90s in New York City, beginning and trying to make it as an actor, as an artist was an incredible time to be alive. I have the fondest, the best memories I have. One of my favorite moments of not just my career, but my life was that time in New York.
It's a good time, right?
Great.
But we had no idea really, you know, I guess, which is always true. You don't really know at the time how special it is.
No.
And I remember, right? You're just in it, right?
And to my parents, my dad, you know, say that all the time, or said that all the time. You just don't know how good we have it or had it until it's gone, or it just, it's hard, you know. It's looking back, it was, people don't get it. The younger generation, I try to explain to them. I mean, this is before, cell phones just came out. I didn't have, I probably just got a cell phone when we were shooting your episode.
Little flip. I get it out in the episode, remember?
Well, I had, you know, I'm going to jump all over the place, but I had a pager. So when I didn't want to move back to LA. I thought it was going to be temporary, but I got a storage unit in Manhattan because I thought I was going to come back.
Right.
And when I went back to finally clean it out, not that long ago, by the way.
What? Oh my God.
Well, I'm like, what am I still? I'm still paying Manhattan storage on 7th and Varick or whatever.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And I go, what the hell do I have in here? It was like, I had, first of all, 2 pagers.
Love it.
Remember those Bell pagers things? The 2 pagers.
My gosh.
Poems that I had written and taken back from like ex-girlfriends, and like weird just stuff that notes, journals, and bad furniture.
Amazing.
But the pagers, we were, you know, it was a different time, meaning we didn't have social media. We didn't have cell phone cameras and things probably just came out, but it was more of an innocent, free period.
So free, you could kind of do anything you wanted, and no one knew.
I miss those days.
So do I.
Back?
Let me ask you, what was going on? Because this is the kind of thing where, like, at the time, I remember being so excited that we got you. I don't know exactly, like, we were in the middle of the season, and as you know, we would shoot really late, and, you know, I was really tired. But I don't remember, like, what was going on in your career? How did you go to auditions? Did we just call you? What happened?
I'm so glad that you asked it, because I was trying to remember how that came about, because the show, first of all, to be on your show was such a big deal. Everybody wanted to be on it. It was the second season. It just, you know, obviously everybody knows what happened first season, right out of the gates. It just is a juggernaut. Cultural, pioneering is very important and amazing show. And so it was very competitive I'm sure across the country, but especially in New York, it's it's a smaller group of, just a smaller group of actors and smaller business in general, but it was very competitive to be on your show. And it was a big deal to get it, to be on. And I think I had auditioned a couple times.
For other parts.
I think it was Carrie Barton? Who was the casting director?
Yeah, Carrie Barton.
Carrie Barton and Billy Hopkins.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Good.
Yeah. for other parts on the show or some other shows, but when I moved to New York, that's when I really started to work as an actor. Couldn't get a job here.
Amazing. That's so weird.
And I know. I had to move to New York to make it in
Maybe
LA.
you just look too good because like a lot of the good looking actors were here in LA.
It was different. Yeah, no, I definitely probably looked a little different or stood out a little bit different than the
New York actor.
The New York, yeah.
Yeah.
But so I had just finished the film with independent film opposite, Amanda, Pete, and I'd done a few gigs like Homicide. I did all the New York shows.
Right?
So
oh my gosh. Amazing.
I had done Homicide.
Yeah, Homicide was amazing. Such a great show.
And I think that's part of I think that character and that role helped get me this job.
Yeah.
I played the Andrew Cunanan of Baltimore, basically. I was a gay hustler killing rich gay men.
I don't remember this. I've got to rewatch Homicide on the Street. Oh my gosh, Brian.
Well, you're going to laugh at me too, because I've been so lucky and so fortunate to play these characters that have these incredible lines or dialogue.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about our phenomenal.
Oh my God.
Which
so
I still to this day, I hear about it to this day. I had some great stories. I can't wait to share some stories with you. But you
can go ahead. Go ahead whenever you want.
I'm just going to stay track. We had so much to unpack.
Yeah.
So anyway, I played. That role helped. I think we sent the VHS cassette reel tape to the producer to your show, and I don't know if I got an offer if I had to audition for this particular role, but I remember reading the script and dying, going, "Oh my God, do I really get to do this? do I really get to play this guy, Wiley Ford?"
Yeah,
which you probably know more about it than I do, but
I don't. I don't.
Did you guys have table reads back then?
Yes.
Okay.
We had table reads. I don't remember our table read though.
No, I don't. We didn't have one.
Okay.
I mean, the whole character and all of our scenes are
it's hysterical.
Classic.
Yes.
We probably moshed it up more than we actually talked. The limo
I'm
seats.
sure we did. I have no doubt. My face was so red in that scene.
That was so funny. Hey, nice to meet you. Get in the back of the limo and start making out.
Right, but it wasn't hard. It worked out.
You were so kind, by the way. You were so gracious and welcoming. And to be honest, I was super nervous to do your show.
Were you? I could not tell.
Really?
I thought you were so perfectly cast because you were having to play a movie star, which is a very hard thing to do.
Perfect. The douchebag
movie star, 100%.
No, I am. That's perfect. It's not the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Stop. That's not true.
I'm just joking.
But what's funny, and this is what's funny about rewatching in my mind, right? I hadn't remembered the douchebag part.
Really?
Yeah. I just remember that I loved you and you were great and I enjoyed kissing you. And it was fun because it was a departure from Charlotte's kind of normal storylines, right?
Yep.
And at that point, she is kind of all over the place in certain ways that I also am sometimes like, oh my God, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I don't remember. But I remember you very clearly because it was so much fun. And I thought it was so great. And it's really weird to rewatch and see, number one, you are such a jerk in the end, your character, of course, not you. But I don't remember that at all. I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot this entire scene, that entire scene at the restaurant, washed from my brain.
Oh my God.
Just the happy art scene and the car makeup scene.
The gallery scene is hysterical.
It's so great.
Well written. I mean,
yes.
The whole episode, the show in general, it's so good.
It's a good one.
But I was, I was really, nervous.
No, I just thought you were perfectly cast because to me, you embody that kind of really relaxed confidence. I mean, you're beautiful, obviously. You're tall and so good looking, but don't really know it and care. You know what I'm saying? You've got that ease, And at that point, when I look back on it, it seems almost like a Leonardo DiCaprio thing. But at the time, in our minds, I think it was a George Clooney thing or a Brad Pitt thing. I
think my character was loosely based on Leo and Toby
Toby.
Well,
interesting.
You
can say anything you want.
I don't even know if this is true. This is probably all rumored and hearsay, but
no,
there's
I want to
the
hear
Pussy Posse.
Yeah.
You remember the Pussy Posse?
Oh, I do. Oh my God.
So that character, Wiley Ford, was loosely based on the Pussy Posse shenanigans.
Got it. Okay.
That's what I was told.
Wow,
So,
they probably kept that from me so that I wouldn't judge it harshly. You know
I'm
what
glad
I mean?
they did. I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
But I just I'm like, this is great. I get to channel my inner douchebag, and I just kind of embraced it. And it was not only fulfilling creatively, but it was also very therapeutic.
Was it?
Yeah,
Cool.
because I that part of the business, I still struggle with the business, and especially when I
get it.
Yeah, and especially being young, and that's half the reason why I left LA to move to New York. I love LA and I love California. I'm a California kid. Just the business in New York was more, I think, more suited for what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
and so I have a very strong opinion and judgment about certain Hollywood things, and
rightly
people,
so.
Yeah, and so I had enjoyed trying to go, how can I be as douchey as possible to represent something that I don't really care for?
Definitely. And who would care for that? I mean, ick. It's so ick. And that's so funny to me that I didn't remember that part. But I think I didn't remember that part because you're so not that way, right? So like that part was the scene that we did and we had to,
I hope not.
No, you weren't that way in any way, shape or form. You were a joy, And so I just remember the positives because as an actor, you remember the experience of filming more so than the finished product. Usually,
right. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You know what? That's a good point. It's true. Yeah, but I did a lot of research for that role just to,
How did that go? Did you learn new things?
Oh, I came out with a few wounds. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you could have been doing all that stuff if you wanted to. I mean, seriously, you could have.
Oh my Lord.
You could have. Yeah. But I remember you were very devoted. You were a very devoted
committed.
boyfriend.
I was,
it was adorable.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, meaning like at the time,
right.
you were very much not like a player or all the things that your part was. You were not that.
Yeah,
and I respected that. It was impressive.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, hey, if I weren't, I'm definitely a Charlene. I meant Charlotte.
I didn't remember that part either. I was like, oh my God, he just keeps calling me by my wrong name and I'm just hanging in there. And the other thing that I didn't remember, and then we'll get to the whole show, but like our storyline is pretty fucking funny, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's pretty good and succinct, but so good. You know what I'm saying? Like so packed. Like when I call Carrie and she literally sits up in bed and says, get out of there right now. And I completely ignore her. Like it is not even, I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. And then he's peeing in the alley. Isn't that funny? He's taking a leak. I said, I'm like, isn't that adorable? I mean, it's Charlotte, like if she'd taken drugs or whatever, like it's so interesting. And then I had not even remembered that you blow pot smoke. And I, at the same time, was trying to navigate our business, mostly in LA, because I do associate that kind of like weird behavior and kind of party vibe and all that with LA.
100%.
But I was already sober. And I did have kind of similar experiences to this, where I'd be at like a dinner party set up with an actor I could name, but I don't know if I should. But like, I think it had happened maybe the year before this. I'm watching it and I'm thinking, did I tell our writers this story? Back then, like we would feel very paranoid, like if we talked to the writers that it might end up in the show, right?
Oh God, that's true.
We would try to be like, oh, they're coming. Be quiet, be quiet. If we were like talking to each other, in our chairs, right?
That's a great point. That's exact. That does happen. And
it totally does happen. And because our writers were always trying to not write fictional things, like someone had to know someone or whatever. But usually it was their stories, which gave us kind of the freedom to play them if they weren't our own, right?
Right.
But like I had an experience with a situation where I think a lawyer that I knew had said, oh, should I just tell the story? I should just tell the story. So I had been set up by a really nice lawyer who I still know. He's not my lawyer, but he's a nice lawyer. And I've been set up with Matthew Perry. And this is like 98, 99, 97 maybe? I feel like it was like between Melrose Place, which I did before the city. And it was at a house, it was a dinner party, it was so low key, I thought. I was like, oh, it's so low key. And I remember I had taken a bunch of roses from my garden. He looked at me like, you're so weird. But I was like, whatever. So I go to this dinner party, I bring my little flowers. it's a bunch of Hollywood people. I don't even know who all was there other than this lawyer and Matthew. And I feel like had I met Matthew briefly, you know how you would meet everyone out and about, but I wasn't drinking or doing drugs, so I wasn't really cool, ever, right? Which was fine, and I was like, I hope I can still succeed without doing all this stuff. And it was not clear in the 90s. If you could.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I do.
It was a lot going on.
A lot.
Right?
Yes.
So I go to this dinner party. Matthew's lovely. He sits next to me and he's talking about how thrilled he is, how happy they are on the set at Friends. And he was doing a film with, oh my God. It's going to come to me in a minute. Amazing actress, still functioning. Great woman. Salma Hayek.
I was just going to say Salma Hayek.
Good job. She's out in the desert, right? So like he would film at Friends and then they'd put him in a car and drive him out to the desert and they'd film all night and then he'd drive back. Like it was very hard, right? I think is kind of how some of his problems got like really aggravated and exacerbated. I was like, wow, he's so happy. And I had been around Melrose and it wasn't the happiest place in a way, And it was like stressy. There were 15 series regulars. Everyone had the feeling they might get cut or whatever. It was kind of competitive and stressy, So I was like, wow, that's amazing. You're so happy. So cut to after dinner and all the pot comes out and they start just passing the pot around. And I'm like, oh, also me and pot, very bad combination. I had earlier found out before I was sober, like I just get super paranoid and unhappy and time stops. Like it's a horrible, horrible experience, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, number one, I was really into my sobriety at that point because you kind of had to be in the 90s.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You didn't share that, and I'm proud.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you.
amazing.
I'm so lucky.
I was sober for a while,
right?
as well.
Is
Not that
it
time.
good?
I mean, I loved it. It was the best thing I ever did.
Great.
I'm no longer sober. I have to be honest. So, but
You can be honest.
I'm no longer. Well, I like to lie a lot. Sorry. No, but there's a lot of people in our industry that are sober and they're doing extremely well. And I was fortunate enough to be part of certain men's groups at that time with a lot of our.
I've heard about these.
Yeah,
never
great.
been to the men's group,
Can't
but
go.
they're
There's
legendary.
there's one rule that you don't fit.
There's one rule that I'm not going to work out.
It ain't gonna
But I'd
happen.
love to hear, whenever I do meet someone who has those experiences, I'm so happy because as we're saying in the 90s, it just seemed like to fit in and be cool and
It would
hip.
have been so difficult. It's more acceptable now. You're absolutely. I know what you're saying. You're absolutely right. It would have been extremely difficult. I couldn't have, and I probably, tipped over to the, probably drank too much and I really had a good time in New York,
Which is great. I mean, I'm glad. And I just think you don't know, till you know that it's too much. You know what I mean?
No, I hope, wow, that's, bold. I didn't know that. And I'm glad you didn't say anything because then I probably would have been so timid to,
do the thing,
fake smoke a joint.
Right.
In front of, and, we're, even though it was like this, the oregano flavored, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was.
It wasn't real weed. That's for sure.
No, it definitely wasn't real weed.
No, but,
right.
but
it was so, like when I watched
that
myself in that scene, it wasn't necessarily hard. I did feel also, because obviously we also drink a lot and that had been my main thing, right? And it became difficult later on because I remember at one point they put the four of us on the cover of like either Newsweek or Time. I don't remember which one. I don't know if we were holding our Cosmos in the picture and they said something like, is Sex and the City responsible for the drinking problem with the young people or whatever? And I was like, oh my God, it's so stressful. To try to walk both lines that I was sober in life, but obviously
were you public with the sobriety?
I was. I mean, I don't know how open or out front I would put it in the beginning because it seemed weird, a little bit, right? And I didn't obviously know that the show was going to go on so long and be this humongous thing and all.
Hi everyone, it's Janae, aka Cheekies, from Cheekies and Chill podcast. And I'm launching an all-new mini podcast series called Sincerely Janae. Sure, I'm a singer, author, businesswoman, and podcaster, but at the end of the day, I am human. And that's why I'm sharing my ups and downs with you guys. Hi guys, I was sitting here recording episodes of Dear Cheekies and Cheekies and Chill, and I just had to take a time out and purge my thoughts and feelings here on Sincerely Janae. Because I've been so emotional lately, you guys. Whether I'm in my feels, I've just had a breakthrough with my therapist, or I've just had a really deep conversation with my siblings, or I'm in glam getting ready for an award show, I'm sharing my most intimate thoughts with you on the podcast. You guys know I always keep it real with you guys, but this time I'm taking it to the next level. Listen to Cheekies and Chill on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We all know, right? Genius is evenly distributed, opportunity is not.
It's Black Business Month, and Black Tech Green Money is tapping in. I'm Will Lucas, spotlighting Black founders, investors, and innovators, building the future one idea at a time. Let's talk legacy, tech, and generational wealth.
I don't think any person of any gender, race, ethnicity should alter who they are, especially on an intellectual level or a talent level, to make someone else feel comfortable just because they are the majority in the situation and they need employment. So for me, I'm always going to be honest in saying that we need to be unapologetically ourselves. If that makes me a vocal CEO and people consider that rocking the boat, so be it.
To hear this and more on the power of Black innovation and ownership, listen to Black Tech Green Money from the Black Effect Podcast Network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Have you ever wished for a change but weren't sure how to make it? Maybe you felt stuck in a job, a place, or even a relationship. I'm Emily Tish Sussman, and on She Pivots, I dive into the inspiring pivots of women who have taken big leaps in their lives and careers.
I'm Gretchen Whitmer,
Jodie Sweetin,
Annika Patton,
Elaine Welteroth.
I'm Jessica Voss.
And that's when I was like, I gotta go. I don't know how, but that kicked off the pivot of how to make the transition.
Learn how to get comfortable pivoting because your life is going to be full of them.
Every episode gets real about the why behind these changes and gives you the inspiration and maybe the push to make your next pivot. Listen to these women and more on She Pivots, now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Pretty Private with Ebony, the podcast where silence is broken and stories are set free. I'm Ebony, and every Tuesday, I'll be sharing all new anonymous stories that will challenge your perceptions and give you new insight on the people around you. On Pretty Private, we'll explore the untold experiences of women of color who faced it all: childhood trauma, addiction, abuse, incarceration, grief, mental health struggles, and more, and found the strength to make it to the other side.
My dad was shot and killed in his house. Yes, he was a drug dealer. Yes, he was a confidential informant, but he wasn't shot on a street corner. He wasn't shot in the middle of a drug deal. He was shot in his house, unarmed.
Pretty Private isn't just a podcast. It's your personal guide for turning storylines into lifelines. Every Tuesday, make sure you listen to Pretty Private from the Black Effect Podcast Network. Tune in on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
Sometimes it's hard to remember, but
going through something like that is a traumatic experience, but it's also not the end of their life.
That was my dad, reminding me and so many others who need to hear it that our trauma is not our shame to carry, and that we have big, bold, and beautiful lives to live after what happened to us. I'm your host and co-president of this organization, Dr. Leah Tate. On my new podcast, The Unwanted Sorority, we wade through transformation to peel back healing and reveal what it actually looks like and sounds like in real time. Each week, I sit down with people who've lived through harm, carried silence, and are now reshaping the systems that failed us. We're going to talk about the adultification of Black girls, mothering as resistance, and the tools we use for healing. The Unwanted Sorority is a safe space, not a quiet space. So let's lock in. We're moving towards liberation together. Listen to The Unwanted Sorority, new episodes every Thursday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Didn't I take you to Milady's after?
Did you?
Didn't we go to Milady's after the show? Because I think
I don't remember that. I don't know.
And I think
That's
you left.
so
You didn't
sweet.
drink. I don't remember. Because we were meeting a bunch of people. Do you
I was
remember
probably no.
Milady, it's in Princeton. It's not there anymore. It's just the neighborhood bar restaurant.
Got it.
Dive at a great pool table and jukebox. But
how adorable! My thing
Prince and
is,
Sullivan,
I was
I think is
trying.
the name.
Oh, Prince and Sullivan, how great! Yeah. I remember that area. I was always trying to find a way to be social.
Yeah, you were
but not.
You should.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember you showed up, hung out for a little bit, and then and then
I probably
bolted.
and also probably I was exhausted.
And you probably were. I was
also
impressed
you
that
had a girlfriend, so I was probably trying to behave. Frankly,
I probably wasn't. So I
I feel like you were. I feel like you really, really were. You talked so sweetly about her. I was very impressed. 2 young, hot, upcoming actors, so loyal and adorable. It was very impressive.
Oh, those are the good old days.
It was the good old days. But that moment when you do in that scene where you lean over and blow the pot in my face, when I'm watching myself, I have such an understanding that I'm pulling on these other experiences that had happened.
Now I'm going to look at that. I'm going to watch that scene again. I'm going to say,
just because it not like it's horrible or anything, just like it's so familiar to be the one
You're
person.
So good. I mean, wow.
Not.
Yeah, there's
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Now
I know.
That I know, but
I know.
That's what I love about what we do. Those moments, especially, like even though they're probably difficult. The first thing, when I went to go test, and I don't know if it was Carolyn or Chris or who, and I heard your podcast because there wasn't that many people in the room when you tested, but this was now HBO is a different monster.
Definitely.
So there was there were so many people in the room. Yes, it was terrifying. But and they were kind enough not to say anything prior to me actually auditioning and going through my thing.
Right.
But afterwards they were going, they all mentioned Wiley Ford and how much they loved the show. They loved that episode.
That's so nice.
It was super sweet.
That's good. That's good.
We loved you in Sex and the City. And we're just so happy that our paths are crossing again.
Good. Yeah. I love to hear that.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I do think it's interesting, and I'm not objective, obviously, but rewatching the show, and we'll rewatch technically in a second, everyone who's listening. In my mind, it like you started by saying, was this thing that all the actors wanted. Like in my mind, it took till season 3 till we were even like on the map, right? So it's super interesting for me to hear from people who were in New York and other actors like, everyone wanted to be on that show. It was the thing. And it's gratifying, but like at the same time, when you're in it, you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like for us, we were still, I remember times they'd say like, you've got to get out there and get all the press we can get. Like, because HBO didn't really have hits yet, right? Because Sopranos was equal with us.
Right.
We came on at the same time. And like we would just talk to anyone and everyone. Like I just found this really cute clip of an episode. I think it's the end of season 2 when we're on the rooftop. We haven't gotten to it yet, but I think Entertainment Tonight or EW, I don't know, I don't know. One of the old-fashioned entertainment shows comes to the set and Sarah talks to them at length. Do you know what I mean? On the street. It's so interesting. I just remember that we would just talk to anybody and we would have to explain the show. She would be like, it's 4 women and Charlotte's the hopeful one and Miranda, she's very smart and kind of cynical. And then there's Samantha and, she just embraces her sexuality. Like she's explaining from the beginning.
Right.
And this is second season, the end of second season. Like for us mentally, we felt like we were still trying to climb that hill,
Yeah.
But I think in some ways that's great, right? Because you're in it and you're just committed. And you're just like, we gotta make it great. We gotta get out there and sell it. You know what I'm saying? That was that vibe.
I do. It's probably it's good that you didn't recognize the power and the success.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You didn't get caught up in that.
We so weren't because we didn't. We didn't.
That's a blessing. That's a gift.
Yeah,
it
is, and it took a while. And I remember now because it's obviously 800 million years later. And we've done the other show, and we've done the movies, and we've done all these different things. And this other show is ending, which brings me back in my mind to the time that the first show ended, which of course could have been the ending for the whole thing. I'd never believed that because I'm me, right? And we had talked about doing a film, which ended up happening many years later, as Chris Albrecht and I discussed on the pod. But it's so interesting to think about. I remember at the time that we ended the first show, we would go places as a group, award shows or press or whatever, and people would say like, it's iconic. And we'd be like, stop, don't say that. Like it was so weird to hear that
I can
word,
imagine.
Because it's not like we were that old. The show hadn't been on that long. Like it was, and now I look back on it and I'm like, they were right.
Pioneering, man. Absolutely right. It's a big deal.
It is, but it's only just now really sinking in.
I mean, it's like, really? Are you serious? Oh my God.
Yeah.
You really helped shape our generation and our culture and still do.
Which is bizarre.
I know, but you still have that kind of that impact and that outreach to even today.
It's
my
weird.
wife owns, she's 10 years younger, but she and her friends still, they have the DVD now. I can't believe they don't even watch DVDs. But she does have the whole season collection.
Yay.
Big
In the
fan.
pink with the pink.
Yes.
I remember
we still have them. We're never getting
Very
rid of it,
nice.
even though
Awesome.
everybody streams everything. But but even, in the kids, I say kids, and the young adults today go back and watch it and are huge fans and
it's so sweet. It's so amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like I just don't know how I lucked out so much. You know?
I feel you, and I'm very fortunate. I lucked out to do one episode.
100% impactful episode.
That one episode led to a lot of good things in my life.
Hi, everyone. It's Janae, aka Cheekies, from Cheekies and Chill podcast. And I'm launching an all-new mini podcast series called Sincerely Janae. Sure, I'm a singer, author, businesswoman, and podcaster, but at the end of the day, I am human. And that's why I'm sharing my ups and downs with you guys. Hi, guys. I was sitting here recording episodes of Dear Cheekies and Cheekies and Chill, and I just had to take a time out and purge my thoughts and feelings here on Sincerely Janae, because I've been so emotional lately, you guys. Whether I'm in my feels, I've just had a breakthrough with my therapist, or I've just had a really deep conversation with my siblings, or I'm in glam getting ready for an award show, I'm sharing my most intimate thoughts with you on the podcast. You guys know I always keep it real with you guys, but this time I'm taking it to the next level. Listen to Cheekies and Chill on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We all know, right? Genius is evenly distributed, opportunity is not.
It's Black Business Month, and Black Tech Green Money is tapping in. I'm Will Lucas, spotlighting Black founders, investors, and innovators, building the future one idea at a time. Let's talk legacy, tech, and generational wealth.
I don't think any person of any gender, race, ethnicity should alter who they are, especially on an intellectual level or a talent level, to make someone else feel comfortable just because they are the majority in the situation and they need employment. So for me, I'm always going to be honest in saying that we need to be unapologetically ourselves. If that makes me a vocal CEO and people consider that rocking the boat, so be it.
To hear this and more on the power of Black innovation and ownership, listen to Black Tech Green Money from the Black Effect Podcast Network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Have you ever wished for a change but weren't sure how to make it? Maybe you felt stuck in a job, a place, or even a relationship. I'm Emily Tish Sussman, and on She Pivots, I dive into the inspiring pivots of women who have taken big leaps in their lives and careers.
I'm Gretchen Whitmer, Jody Sweeten,
Annika Patton, Elaine Welteroth.
I'm Jessica Voss.
And that's when I was like, I gotta go. I don't know how, but that kicked off the pivot of how to make the transition.
Learn how to get comfortable pivoting because your life is going to be full of them.
Every episode gets real about the why behind these changes and gives you the inspiration and maybe the push to make your next pivot. Listen to these women and more on She Pivots, now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Pretty Private with Ebony, the podcast where silence is broken and stories are set free. I'm Ebony, and every Tuesday, I'll be sharing all new anonymous stories that will challenge your perceptions and give you new insight on the people around you. On Pretty Private, we'll explore the untold experiences of women of color who faced it all: childhood trauma, addiction, abuse, incarceration, grief, mental health struggles, and more, and found the strength to make it to the other side.
My dad was shot and killed in his house. Yes, he was a drug dealer. Yes, he was a confidential informant, but he wasn't shot on a street corner. He wasn't shot in the middle of a drug deal. He was shot in his house, unarmed.
Pretty Private isn't just a podcast. It's your personal guide for turning storylines into lifelines. Every Tuesday, make sure you listen to Pretty Private from the Black Effect Podcast Network. Tune in on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
The Super Secret Bestie Club podcast season 4 is here.
And we're locked in.
That means more juicy cheesemate,
Terrible love advice.
evil spells to cast on your ex.
No, we're not doing that this season.
Oh, well, this season we're leveling up.
Each episode will feature a special bestie, and you're not going to want to miss it. Get in here!
Today we have a very special guest with us. Our new super secret bestie is the diva of the people.
The diva of the people.
I'm just like, text your ex.
Okay.
My theory is that if you need to figure out that the stove is hot, go and touch it. Go and figure it out for yourself.
Okay.
That's us.
What the heck?
That's us.
My name is Curly.
And I'm Maya.
In each episode, we'll talk about love, friendship, heartbreaks, men, and of course, our favorite secrets.
Listen to the Super Secret Bestie Club as a part of the My Cultura podcast network, available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast.
I put you in a small group of people where maybe you had worked and whatnot and been known like to a small group, but hadn't necessarily like broken out, right? Meaning like we thought you were amazing and then you were amazing, like Timothy Oliphant. You know, we were like his first job, right? He's still,
I got a great, so the whole, so HBO, Timothy Oliphant, I don't know, because David Milch and Deadwood, I was a huge fan. I was almost on Deadwood. Well, for Timothy's character.
No way! Oh my God.
And I couldn't do it or, even test for it or whatever because I was filming a film, Basic or something like that for 6 months. And so I missed that opportunity.
Oh no.
And the John from Cincinnati opportunity almost didn't come up because there was some resistance because of they felt that I passed on Deadwood. And there's not a chance. Deadwood was one of my favorite shows and one of the best shows of all time.
Wow. So you had to convince them that you hadn't
threatened. When I sidetrack again, like I'm a massive
I love it.
Possessed
Brian,
fan.
you're right in my wheelhouse.
Okay.
Go for it.
I was obsessed with Deadwood and David Milch.
Incredible. Yes.
Even from, NYPD Blue too, which is network television. And I'm his biggest fan. I thought,
he's amazing.
That he's like I have to work with this man. And I'm, so upset that Deadwood didn't work out, whatever. And then I was reading the newspaper when we used to read newspapers.
Yes.
And there was the article about the cancellation of Deadwood. And I was so upset. And my girlfriend at the time, ex-girlfriend and girlfriend at the time,
yes.
She's like, just keep reading. And they canceled the show, but he's working on a new show about a dysfunctional surfing family. And I was like, what? And it's based, it's sort of loosely, the family that was used as the vehicle to tell the story. It wasn't about their family.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up, I know.
You mean it's an actual real family?
It's loosely, it's not, it's inaccurate.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
A family of surfers.
Them. Incredible.
The son, the person that I, in a sense, played, it's just a small world. And it's crazy how this stuff works.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a professional surfer, way better than I was. But, I'd surfed with him a few times, knew the family very,
That's
I knew
amazing.
Who they were. It's crazy. But they didn't want to see me. They didn't, no.
You had to push your way in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, they said no.
You.
My agents really at the time, they were like, they don't want to see you, dude. Oof. I don't understand. Like, if you don't give me an appointment or an audition time, I will go there in person. I will break that door down.
Love
it. I'm doing this thing.
Amazing.
I'm not taking no for an answer.
Amazing.
And I'm not that person.
No,
you know
I wouldn't.
Saying? Like,
I wouldn't.
But
think
when
you
I
would
get,
well, that was your show. You needed that show. I mean, I do believe in that.
I was obsessed.
Right. But like your part is your part, But sometimes you do have to go through some obstacles to get that.
Yeah, but I love Timothy Oliphant too.
Me too.
Yes, so as you were saying, yes.
But I think like Timothy, you, Dan Futterman, who's also
Futterman.
How's
he? I haven't seen
We haven't checked in with him. It's next week. I can't wait. Like, and he's had such an interesting career that he's a showrunner now. It's crazy.
I know. I'm going to go look after we're done.
Yes.
I want to look up I haven't heard Dan's.
I know he's behind the scenes now, but he's incredible. But so many people, I'm not even remembering everybody. Obviously, I'm just thinking of my guys right now. But Tim wasn't my guy. But Timothy, it was his first job, and he was so great. And that was our first season where it hadn't even been on the air, so no one knew anything about what we were doing. Remember, he plays like Valley of the 20-something guys, and he's talking about his dream with his hands, and
oh my
giants.
God, I forgot.
Yeah, he made that all up.
I forgot that. That's amazing.
Yep. But there's a handful of you that I feel like our guys, I think, our casting directors and our producers had great taste and talent, and it's so nice to be able to have young actors on, because obviously that show was that show. And just like that, we were able to have a different group of young actors playing our kids and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Bizarre to say, but it's a fun thing to be in the business and be able to be part of that. Like I love that part of our business, finding talent, being able to support talent, discover talent, show talent to the world, create a safe environment for them.
You did, yeah. You definitely created a great environment to create. But I got to share this story. I don't know if you remember this too. This is another, and I think this helped me get this next gig. It was such a crazy week in my life. So while we're shooting our episode, Les Moonves, the head of CBS, I auditioned for it's so funny, the difference between going from doing your show playing Wiley Ford, the douchey douchebag of all actors, to then sort of testing to being a character. I was testing for a sitcom.
I vaguely
for
remember
Love
this.
and Money, which was like Swoozie Kurtz, David Ogden Stiers. It was like Rob Long and Dan Staley were the showrunners. It was like Judy Greer, Paget Brewster.
Judy Greer.
I replaced my friend, who wasn't my friend at the time, but I became friends with Dash Myhawk.
Oh, wow.
One of my favorite persons on the planet. And it sucks because they wanted to replace him in the pilot.
Oh,
and last minute, I'm in the, Les wanted to, I had whatever, audition for it and let go. Les wants to meet you, test, and he's in New York for this, and he's in New York right now. He's going to fly back tonight. I'm like, I'm filming. I'm working on Sex and Sex of the City. Dude.
You were hot. You were a hot commodity. I remember this.
I'm sure that didn't hurt, but and you guys
it's always good. Yeah.
There was you guys let me run uptown to meet with Les, and you and Al. I think you took us. I asked because we were supposed to shoot all our stuff, and they changed up scenes so you could let me go.
That's nice.
Yeah, go meet with Les. I remember taking the train up to like where was CBS at the time, like 68.
It was uptown,
Upper West Side, right?
Like in one of the big buildings, like a big high rise or something,
huge,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sweating, running.
Oh,
and everything.
no.
And I went from Wiley Ford to Eamon McBride.
Wow.
Tested the thing and hauled ass back down to Soho.
Oh
we were
my
shooting
God,
Soho.
yeah.
And just barely making it in time. And I just remember you guys being so kind to let me, and I got the gig.
Yay!
Yes.
I do remember talking about that, and I remember because I think Amanda was on another film, and so it was you were trying to decide, like, because those are tough decisions,
It was you have a great memory.
Mm-hmm.
It was she booked a TV show, Jack and Jill.
Yes! Oh my God! Yes.
She was moving to Los Angeles,
right?
And
But wasn't she? I think she was on a film with Bruce Willis.
The whole 9 yards, yes.
Right.
Yes.
And all these things were happening at once for both of you. And I remember you just saying like it's this and that and trying to make the decisions and where was she going to be and what did you want to do? And I thought it was so sweet.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I did not want to leave New York. I always thought I would come back. I thought, I thought the TV show, it was temporary, as they mostly are. And
Usually, yes.
Yeah, it's usually, unfortunately, yeah.
Right.
And so that's why I kept my apartment. I gave my sublet it to my buddy.
Wow.
But yeah, I was, I didn't want to leave. I didn't want I thought I was going to always come back. And part of the reason was, I did, I wasn't really looking to do sitcoms.
Right.
Per se,
because back then there was a big separation between
but I'm
types
glad
of actors or whatever.
I'm glad I did.
Yes.
The writing on this, show that I did was incredible, and the actors and the talent. That's another show I was like way in over my head with. Brian Doyle Murray played my dad.
Well, he's amazing.
That's
a great. I love to hear about what actors are kind of going through or went through, or the different choices that you have to make, because it's not easy, and I feel like obviously getting parts at all is not easy, right?
Yeah.
We all know this technically, but then also you have to make these decisions and figure things out, and you never really know what's going to happen. There's so much unknown. You know?
And when you think what's going to happen, that's
totally you don't know.
That's when it gets dangerous.
Yes.
Making assumptions and
yes.
I'm going to spend this money because I'm going to be working forever.
Brian, I know.
On Cougartown, which I was like the lowest.
Cougartown, I forgot to mention it. That was fun to watch.
Oh my God, it was fun to do too.
Yeah.
What a great, that was another fun time. We got a lot of stories about that too, I'm sure.
I bet.
But I remember Josh and I would do these cleanses and not be able, just to, stay healthy and cut off drinking. And we do the master cleanse of all things too.
Oh, I remember the days. Everyone did the master cleanse. Cindy Shupak, who's coming soon, she could tell you some master cleanse stories. It was the thing. It was the thing.
It was hard.
I couldn't do that.
I did. We had bets, but it was impossible on our set because we would call it the red tea.
Yeah.
We would drink. We'd put red wine in a cup and put a little tea string outside so it looked like you're drinking tea. It was really red wine. We were all winos on the show. That wasn't a thing. Like you were saying, Bill Lawrence would take stuff in our real life and put it in the show. And the wine thing started pretty early on. We all got along so well. We go out to lunch on Wine Wednesdays and we all liked our wine.
It's a good thing I wasn't on that show.
I know. And I thought about that. And you were sharing with me about your sobriety. I was like, thank God, because
I would have really not fit in.
You would have fit in. I would have made sure.
Well, I do know pretty much that whole cast, so I think it would have been okay.
You would have been
but
great.
I would have been in my trailer. Okay, you guys, it's too much fun here talking to Brian Van Holt. We're going to come back for part 2. Please join us later in the week.
If you're looking for another heavy podcast about trauma, this ain't it. This is for the ones who had to survive and still show up as brilliant, loud, soft, and whole. The Unwanted Sorority is where Black women, femmes, and gender-expansive survivors of sexual violence rewrite the rules on healing, support, and what happens after. And I'm your host and co-president of this organization, Dr. Leatra Tate. Listen to The Unwanted Sorority, new episodes every Thursday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's start with a quick puzzle. The answer is Ken Jennings' appearance on The Puzzler with AJ Jacobs. The question is, what is the most entertaining listening experience in podcast land? Jeopardy truthers believe in...
I guess they would be conspiracy theorists.
That's right.
They gave you the answers and you still blew it.
The Puzzler. Listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Everyone thinks they'd never join a cult, but it happens all the time to people just like you and people just like us. I'm Lola Blanc.
And I'm Megan Elizabeth. We're the hosts of Trust Me, a podcast about cults, manipulation, and the psychology of belief.
Each week, we talk to fellow survivors, former believers, and experts to understand why people get pulled in and how they get out.
Trust Me, new episodes every Wednesday on Exactly Right. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
So what happened at Chappaquiddick? Well, it really depends on who you talk to.
There are many versions of what happened in 1969 when a young Ted Kennedy drove a car into a pond.
And left a woman behind to drown.
Chappaquiddick is a story of a tragic death and how the Kennedy machine took control. Every week, we go behind the headlines and beyond the drama of America's royal family.
Listen to United States of Kennedys on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's Black Business Month, and Money and Wealth podcast with John Hope Bryant is tapping in. I'm breaking down how to build wealth, create opportunities, and move from surviving to thriving. It's time to talk about ownership, equity, and everything in between. Black and brown communities have historically been last in line. Let me just say this, AI is moving faster than civil rights legislation ever did. Listen to Money and Wealth from the Black Effect Podcast Network on iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast.